Good afternoon. Welcome to OptionsTender. It is Tuesday, September 30th, 2025. We're looking at the possible government shutdown here at midnight tonight. So I think that's the true catalyst that's going to give us a sell-off tomorrow. So we added on more puts today, and we have a nice bearish setup that we're going to show on the lower time frames. We're not going to spend a whole lot of time on the daily. We're going to go down to the 65 and kind of hash things out a bit. But with the government shutdown, both sides, so the aisle to speak, are having difficulty getting a deal done. And I've seen this before. A lot of us, if you've been trading for a while, have seen this before. And things usually end up panning out, but in the meantime, it should scare the market. So I can imagine the market selling off on this news tomorrow and not getting a bounce, and possibly until they come up with a deal, a short-term deal at least. Okay, so that's what's on the table. We do have some more economic data coming out anyway, but I think this will be the main headline. So we're going to start off with SPX. By the way, we're doing this about 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to get these videos intraday, consider becoming a YouTube supporter. And that comes with the Discord and trade alerts. And so let's just go ahead into this right now. We have SPX on that daily time frame. We saw that tweezer top here, got a reversal, and then we're getting a nice bounce here. That's a bullish engulfing candle, so that technically that's a kind of a bullish stance, but we're right into resistance, and we'll look at those at on the lower time frames. So our trend is obviously still up. No need to look at any of these. The D mark, we're adding on to our count here. I think we might be at a 4 count, but we're looking for a 9 count to the downside. Okay, we're at a 2 count, but remember, SPY is a little bit different. Let's go ahead and jump over there for the count. I was working on some lower time frame stuff, so yeah, just a 1-2 count so far, and I know I'm toggling back and forth, but let's go ahead and put on our traditional technical analysis here. All right, so we're going right back up to that same trend line that we rejected off of yesterday, and we're just tagging it just above there, going into a setup tomorrow. I think this will be a good setup for a reversal. Okay, we have the D mark, Bollinger. Nothing you can look at yesterday's video to see. All the other indicators are kind of all showing the same thing. Yeah, just pushing up here. We're going to look for that to roll back over. And let's go to SPY. Let's go to the VIX. So the VIX is holding up well. And again, we have our higher low here. We actually have a series of higher lows. We back tested this wedge breakout. We're holding above the 8 EMA, the 20, and the 50. So again, this is in a bullish stance. Nice setup. And probably by the end of the week, we'll be breaking out from this wedge. Possibly after that, maybe one more sort of positive structure here. So if we break out from the wedge, maybe we reject off the 200 and back test that secondary wedge here before taking off to the upside. And I'll pop in Nvidia as well. I think this is a good point where you can see where that is setting up as well, and kind of ties into what we think might be happening tonight, overnight. Okay, so yeah, your wedge, here's your traditional look here. We're back testing that wedge. Yeah, just a little bit higher, but we're just back testing so far. And it's still possible if some sort of reaction is a gap up tomorrow, that we'll get a lower high in QQQ. I'm not sure that that's going to be the case, because we're at this setup right now, and the bell's about to ring in about 27 minutes. So clearly our trend remains up. We're in the red for this smart MACD. That could be a sign of a reversal coming up here pretty soon. Moving averages pushing up. It's DMARC. 1-2 setup so far. Oh my gosh, we're on the, sorry. We gotta switch this up. Gosh, you guys probably think I'm crazy. Okay, so we have the MACD starting to turn, the smart MACD starting to turn green. Clearly on this bounce, we made just a brand new high here. Let's see if we have any divergence there. Yeah, so we have a nice divergence on this move higher. That's a good sign that we're going to get our reversal going into tomorrow. And we'll want to see that slow stoke. We'll check it out tomorrow again. We have the DMARC. So we're at a 1-2 count so far. We had that 9 count exhaustion, had the sell off, made a bull flag, and we made a new high there. Money flow. Bollinger Band. We had that sell off. There's overbought and into the Bollinger Band. Maybe we go up a little higher and tag that band again for another setup. We're in the green here. Again, I think after this reversal, I think we'll spend a lot more time in the red, going lower. If this is truly a 1-2 setup, well, the setup is there. If this truly plays out as a 1-2 setup, then we'll look into this. See, we do have a little bit higher that we can go for the 887. The Qs already hit that 887, so this still might go up just a little bit higher, and so that just moves our target, our wave 3 target. I do think we'll break down lower than that to be 645. That's our minimum target for wave 3 there. We want to see it tag that, and that will give us a probability that the trend has changed, and that we're looking for a wave 4 into a wave 5, which could likely bring us into this first target for our wave 1 down at 635, and then there's another target below there if price is moving pretty quick, all the way down here to about 620. Okay, so the first clue that this is done here is that RSI, negative divergence. Here's the Qs. The Qs already made it up to its 887 retracement already. And so now it's showing weakness. That's our secondary divergence indicator there, that they're diverging. Tech's getting weaker. It had the strength going in there, but now it's actually showing weakness to reverse here. And so what I mean by the 1-2 setup is when you're using Fibonacci retracements and Elliott wave counts, we have the Elliott wave, wave 1, going into a wave 2, and now we're looking again, it's called nesting as well. And now we have a secondary wave 1, and we'll just change it into a different color, and wave 2. So it's a 1-2 setup into the golden pocket retracement here. You see it stalling right at that point. And then you can also measure this wave 3 going in this lower degree as well. So we're not going to do that. We just have this one so far. You have a 1-2 and then 1-2. And so, you know what? I am going to do it because it's going to matter. So you want to line up your lesser degree. Here's your top right there. So now the distance of that wave 1 retraced to wave 2, and you have your wave 3 that is most likely to reach this target, and I think beyond, because when you get to these lower degrees like this, you're looking at much further Fibonacci's. So we'll watch this wave count play out, see if we can notice it. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 going into wherever it needs to go. And like I said, that will be wave 3. And so once we get that wave 5 in this purple, that will conclude the wave 3 in the white. Okay, and then we'll have a larger degree wave 4, which should go back to the lesser degree wave 4. I'm putting a lot of information out there. And then we'll have our wave 5. So we'll kind of talk you through all of this in the next videos to come, because we're going to have a different wave count for SPY. We just have a 1-2 count than we do for the Qs. This might be a little bit more clear for us to find a bottom when this does occur. All right, so let's just look at Nvidia. I didn't really clean anything up with the Elliott wave count or anything, so I did a little bit. So we got that daily cycle low here, and this last move that gave us a new high. The first clue was at right here where we rejected and made a brand new all-time high right there. And this is a 3-wave move for a 1, 3-wave move for a 2, and you see the price action starting to pull in together, starting to get a little bit thinner as a wedge rising, okay, contracting wedge. And then you have wave 3, wave 4, and finally ABC for wave 5. Is this quite done yet? I would imagine so to this 150, but you do have a little bit of room for this area. If something tomorrow starts off with a gap up or so, it's likely that this one is just pushing just a touch higher to hit the wedge at the top. It doesn't need to, but it's possible. All right, so that's pretty much all I want to show you. Let's see if the VIX can follow suit here. We had our low, our wedge breakout from the higher low, and again a leading diagonal for another degree 1-2 setup, and now we're just getting a 1-2 setup. It's starting to, you see it's starting to get a little bit more bullish with less deep of retracements. This one was really deep, that one's less deep, and now we're really starting to move. I think tomorrow we're going to get that nice breakout here, heading higher in the VIX. Okay. All right. Thanks for joining us here at OptionsTender. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you in the next video.